What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Look, man, I've been kind of like going back and forth with this John Morant thing, man. On the one hand, sometimes I thought some articles were going a little bit too far, trying to extend the story, you know, trying to demonize John Morant maybe a little bit too much. Like this article I just saw that I talked about on Too Raw for Sports. I don't think there's anything wrong with partying every now and then. You're young, you're rich, you're single. There's nothing wrong with socializing. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't like when sometimes the image of us partying is like seen as being immature. But then when you have someone like Kyrie Irving who's intellectual, you don't like that either. So what do you want? You know what I'm saying? So that kind of irritates me. But on the other hand, I'm not going to be a John Morant apologist and try to goddamn explain away or victimize John Morant's behavior, that he's a part of the system and all that. Nah, he knows what he's doing. He's been warned multiple times how this country is set up. Okay? Unfortunately, Conor McGregor, you know what I'm saying, can slap an old man in the face on camera, have allegation after allegation levied against him, and nobody cares. Chad Wheeler can damn near delete his girlfriend, especially because she's black, and you know that case just disappears off the face of earth. We don't even know what's going on with that, right? There's no media curiosity about that one, but ESPN can show a Kansas City Chiefs football player and show his face like a mugshot because he broke a vacuum cleaner in his home, and they call it assault. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it is fucked up and it's racist, but it's the reality in this country, and it ain't gonna really change, no matter how much we speak up about it. So John Morant has to recognize this. So he's been warned time and time and time again, and he kept flaunting the people who want him. He made it like they was hating on him, flaunting them on his social media. I'm gonna do what I want to do, right? So when he did what he did, while it is his constitutional right to have the gun, you recognize the realities of this country. So it is what it is. But this latest thing that came out, I'm done with John Morant. I'm done. I'm not defending him no more. At all. I'm done. That's it. I'm at the precipice with this guy. If something else happens when he comes back, because I did this before, but if something else happens when he comes back, I'm not taking up for him in any way, shape, or form. It's a wrap, because that's him. So I'm gonna put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comment section below. So you take what you can from this article. But apparently, John Morant beat up or assaulted, or at least attempted to assault, a teenager, a high schooler. But from this article, it appears that they were trying to assault, or they did assault, a girl. So, the gist of it is, his sister, who's in high school, called John Morant because she got into it with another teenager because they were calling each other the B word back and forth. So already that's telling you, if they're in a girls' volleyball game and they get into it with another student, these are two girls. She calls John Morant, who is a brand. I get that's your brother. But this is a dude that is one of the rising stars in the NBA. Look, we're not talking about some dude that's riding the pine. We're not talking about a six-man. We're not even talking about Dylan Brooks. We're talking about Ja Morant, right? A player who one day may be an MVP, maybe even the face of the league or one of the faces of the league, and you're getting involved in this petty, stupid, dumb shit. So you go to the high school with your entourage, and then you know kids are gonna be excited to see you, and you got your boys knocking people's cell phones from their hands in the bleachers, and then y'all get into an altercation with kids, and you got a grown ass man threatening to beat up high schoolers, and I'm assuming these are girls. Man, you don't get no brownie points for that, man. You's a bitch ass nigga. You don't get no look, bro. Look, y'all. I remember reading. What was it? It happened in the early 50s. There was a citizen. I'm trying to remember the details. Give me 1 second. Okay. There was a man there. I just had to look it up right quick. There was a man named Arnold Schuster, right? Schuster, right? This happened in the early 50s. He was a New Yorker. And he identified a man named Willie Sutton, who was a bank robber, resulting in his arrest. Albert Anastasia, you probably recognize that name if you're into mob culture and stuff like that. Reading about the mob. He was a mob boss. He didn't like that Arnold Schuster, in his mind, squealed on the bank robber. Just a citizen. He ordered a hit on that guy. They killed him. That marked all the other crime bosses. They had a problem with that. You don't hit citizens. That was a no-no. Now, they didn't want to, initially or too early make a move on him because Albert Anastasia was powerful. But they waited until the right time. It was 5 years later. But they got his ass when he was getting a haircut. They got his ass. Because that still smoldered. And it turned the public against the mob. You know how like a lot of movies in the 30s and 40s, that people tend to romanticize the mob, Edward G. Robinson, and all those other movies, the original Scarface and all these mob movies in the 30s and 40s. But then that happened, and then you started seeing a growing campaign from the public for the FBI and police to do something about them. So I bring that up. You don't get brownie points for picking on the defenseless. You don't get brownie points for picking on girls, high schoolers, beating up or smacking around wannabe rent-a-cop security guards. Do that against real gangsters. Play gangster against real gangster and see what happens. Do this against real street dudes. All this stuff that keeps coming up about Ja Morant makes me realize that this dude is a pretender. He probably was something of a nerd or a square, and he's reliving or trying to rekindle something, man. But it's stupid. It already looks like you're going to lose your Powerade endorsement. Now that this is coming out, because more and more stuff is going to come out. I was telling people, now that this is a big story, more and more stuff is going to come out. And Nike already feels pressured. They're under pressure to drop him. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want something bad to happen to John Morant as far as him losing money, but he's been warned. So if he want to be the Mike Tyson of the NBA, this guy that had all this promise, but he blew it, so be it. At least Mike Tyson had the excuse that he was a street dude, and he was trying to fight his urges to revert back to that behavior. He was trying to be good. He was trying to do the right thing. But the worst thing that could happen with Mike Tyson was when Customata died and Don King got his hooks in him. But you got a support system around you, Ja, and you're a little older than Mike Tyson was. People forget how young Mike Tyson was. 20, 21, 22, 23. Ja, you're already 23, man. You got to grow the fuck up, bro. You're not a kid anymore. Why are you hanging around teenagers anyway? Man, look, man, when I was Ja age, I always preferred to hang around people who were older than me. Or people who were older minded. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't feel sorry for this dude, man. I don't. It's not the same as Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving was standing up for a cause. This is just a dude doing dumb shit, man. At this point, he's doing dumb shit. He knows how this country fucking is with young black men. He should know this stuff by now. If they don't, then that's on them. All these new age dudes, I don't see race. Well, they ain't gonna see race on your ass. They gonna see it. I don't see race, man. I look at things right down the middle. Well, that ain't how the country is. So at the end of the day, man, I'm done with this dude, man. I'm done. I'm not defending him no more. Not that he gives a fuck. He don't care. Care what nobody think about him. You know? So at the end of the day, that's it, man. Tell me what you guys think.